Hey, welcome back to the table. So, my camera battery went dead while I was in the middle of the combat, and you probably noticed my audio started to get into all kinds of trouble because the battery was low, and I don't know how it all works, but it was definitely falling apart there. So here we are. I'm on a completely different camera here, and I don't know which mode to use. Boy, that's way. Let's just do that. I think that's better. So I'm using my iPad here. I hope it comes out okay for you. It's a little bigger than my other camera, but I actually think it might actually be nicer. That's a really good view of the game board, and it takes up a large part of my table, but so does my tripod, I guess. So yeah, we can get everybody in here, and it's looking pretty good. I like it. Maybe I should consider using this more. Okay, so it is our turn. Uh, we we killed the dwarf barbarian right as the camera went dead, and we're at the climax here because the bandit boss only has 3 hit points left. We gotta get these treasure chests open. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's figure out some dice rolls here. We're gonna start with our rogue here. He only gets to roll 2 dice, but he gets to reduce the armor by 1, and does not cut the mustard. He needed a 4 or better. So then we're gonna go ahead and go with the lion, and he rolls 5 dice. Armor is 5, and there we go. 1, 2, 3 hits. That is enough to open this chest. So we got one chest that's open, and gosh darn it, I don't even remember where the treasure cards are. Here they are. I bet I never shuffled these when I got them. So I'm not a very good. I like it when they're sleeved because otherwise these cards start to fray because I'm banging them against each other. It's a little too small to be shuffling this kind of way, but anyways, get it shuffled. Not all these are good. Some of them have a trap, some of them are nothing. So let's see what we get. I'm going to go ahead and let's grab one right from the middle here. Let's grab this one. Treasure, 10 coins and 1 random magic object. Roll 1d6 if you choose to open a chest in the main room. On a result of a 6, the object found is a relic. Ooh. Okay, well, let's see if we get a 6. That's a tough roll, but... Oh! Didn't you see it? It was this one. Just joking. It was that one. All right. So we got a random magic object. I am excited. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this back in. There's not that many. I think you do have to shuffle in. And let's see if we can get the other one open, too. This is where I think happens, pun intended. We need to get them both open. Okay. So by moving the paladin up and engaging him sideways, we can get our mage out of there, because that's a very important. Their guy, by the way, is stunned for 5 more turns. Our archer no longer gets a +2 because the spell expired. I think he actually has a healing spell he could use. But let's figure out the magic item. It's 1 random magic object. Here's our problem. We got magic armor, right? So that's 1 magic thing. Then we have this giant deck of magic stuff. I wonder if that's what a magic object is. Whew. That would be a... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, is the section on magic things. I've seen it 100 times. Of course, I've always ignored it because it's like, yeah, it's going to be forever before I get one of those. But here we are. Yes, so the helmet is a magic object. The armor is a relic. So we were rolling to see if we can get the armor, which was a relic. So these are the relics. That's what we were trying to get. Oh my gosh, they look wonderful. Dragon Slayer broadsword. Oh my gosh. Yes, that would be nice to get a relic. But instead, we got a random magic object, which I'm sure is sorted in some kind of way. I've never shuffled these ever. So, yeah, this is going to take a while. Here, I will pause this. Okay. So, I got it reasonably shuffled, and I'm going to still shuffle it some more because YouTubers like One Stop Co-op Shop script their videos. They make it look like they're playing the game, but they're really not. They're playing a script, which serves a purpose. I'm not trying to say that it's awful. It's just not what I'm trying to do. So we're going to do a couple more shuffles here. And then we'll grab one right from the middle. So let's grab this guy right here. I'm not going to look at it yet. Let's see what else we get. No, we're going to look at it. So we got the Helm of Foresight, Felicitas. So it's a ring, which means, it's some kind of item. User ignores any penalties to dexterity or archery caused by wearing armor. So that means our archer could wear armor that causes his like if he wore armor that gave him a negative to his archery skill, he would not actually get a negative. We could have done a lot better. That's okay. I mean, there might be an armor out there that. So right now we're wearing a leather armor with our archer, and like the studded armor here doesn't even give a negative. It gives a negative to perception. So we could, take this studded armor now. The elven armor looks nice. Scale armor reduces your, but it's a heavy. Yeah, right now we're using leather. Okay. Yeah, that's not an exciting item. But it's a giant stack of cards. What's the chance of us getting the really awesome one? Okay, so we got to open this next one. So we're going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, and we get to open the thing. We have 3 strength. Each has more strength than nothing. So none of them did anything. We have our paladin. If we were smart before the main one, it couldn't have been our turn or at the start of our turn, because I think he had to go and took this. No, I used the archer to take him out. That's what it was. So the dwarf can still go. So 1, 2, here we go. All right, we rolled double 6s, so that would mean he can't block it. So no matter what we hit him, we get 6 dice. He has 5. We only did 1 hit. Oh, 2 hits, because we reduce his armor by 1, and there's 3. So the bandit boss would be dead with that. That means we don't get that other chest. I'm not happy about that, because the other chest would be really, really good. Let's see if we removed our stun. We did. Our stun would have been gone too. I don't know. I got to look up, did we get to finish the chest off? I think the answer is no. And I don't like it. So that means that I would have had to leave the bandit boss alive for another round. I'm thinking of canceling my turn. Because I don't want to kill the bandit boss until we get the chest. So that would be in the melee or the combat section, because it explains what happens when. There we go. Quick actions. Drinking a potion is considered a quick action. We were asking that in the last video. Yeah, I have to basically, I'm going to forfeit my action. I'm just going to basically engage it with the dwarf. I did engage it from behind, which is a thing. And then basically the bandit boss is going to turn around, and the dwarf is the easier of the two because he doesn't have a shield. Bandit boss cannot move because we have him engaged. So there's attack 1. We got an 8 to his 6. He misses because he is stunned for another 4 turns. Here's attack 2. He misses. And here's attack 3. Oh, he hits there. So he's going to do 5 damage to the dwarf. And 1, 2, 3 hits, which means he has to use a fortune point. He has to use 2 fortune points to get out of it. So we're going to use 2. That's 2 points for the Dark Lord. It does push the Dark Lord up to 19 points, but we're sitting on 20. So we're still 1 point ahead of him. So yeah, that's this thing about getting the chest open is, I'm being stubborn about it, but it's costing me points. And we do not get points for the chest. I do get 1 more point for casting that spell, though. The one that stunned him. So that puts us at 21. And, of course, we're going to get points for taking down the leader. So, all right. So we're going to do Rogue. He hits with a 4 or 5. He only rolls 2 dice, though. There we go. 2 points against the chest. The chest does have 5. And then the lion. We need 5s, so that's 2 more. This thing's down to 1. 1 health left, and then the mage. Right there it is. We got it. The mage got it. So we get another one of these bad boys. So we're going to just reach down in the middle, and let's grab this one. And be a little more exciting, please. There we go. Agility broadsword. +1 to the user's combat while attacking. And it's strength +1. So just to put it in perspective, we're using a regular broadsword. So it's not that much better. Like, damage-wise, it's the same. But this +1 to the combat is excellent. Because now it means, better chance of hitting. That +1 could be the difference. So that is a much, much better item. We can definitely see a tangible use for that. Very happy with that. And yeah, we got both of the chests open. So now we just got to murder, death, kill this guy. So I'm going to start with the barbarian. And he rolled a 3, we rolled a 4. Oh my gosh, we hit him though. And all I need is 3 damage. And look at that. That's a bunch of crap. So now it's time to finish him off, and I hit with nothing. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the paladin. And I am going to walk behind him, because no matter what, somebody's getting behind him. And we do hit him. And then the paladin does... See, I rolled 5 dice. I need to roll 6. Yeah, I did roll 6. All right, paladin does 4 plus 1 is 5. My goodness, I only did 1 hit on the guy. So he's down to 2 health. What a jerk. Okay, so then my archer, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to step forward 1. We do get a -1 to our attack. That's a 9 plus 5 minus 1. We easily hit him. We're going to roll 4 dice. His armor is 5. There we go. 1, 2. The archer finishes him off. That's 2 more damage. Bandit's dead. And everybody gets 2 experience points. So I guess I don't have any real way to represent it other than just to write on their sheet. So this is the spot for this experience points. I'm just going to go ahead and do Indian hash style. So there's 2. And 2. Now you might be wondering, why 2? 1 for successfully winning the mission, which was we had to defeat the bandit boss. And then the other one because we outscored the dungeon lord. That's the reason why we got 2. So there's 2. And 2. So here's the cool thing. We got 1 experience point after the first mission. We didn't get 2 because there was no point scoring thing, but we still got 1 for, saving the merchants. So we have 3 points now. And so I think it's page 70 something. There is, you've got your leveling up business that you get to do. And, sorry, I'm just trying to, so experience points. We got our 3, and then we want to spend them. So we can spend them in several ways. So right here it says, heroes can use every 3 accumulated experience points to get a skill, develop points, increase in fortune, or learning spells. So the learning spells is a little trickier because you got to find the right place to do that. But so let's start there. Spellcaster heroes will be considered apprentices until they reach a VP of 15. And then when they reach a VP of 30, they'll be archmages. So apprentices just simply means you can only cast 2 points, or 2 spells. Learning spells, you have to visit a school of magic, which is not in our local town. So for each spell learned, heroes increase their mana points by 2, and then of course it's limited to your intelligence times 3. So for example, the wizard may want to wait, right? Because we got the water spells. It'd be really nice to get something that's a little more attacky than what we have. The increase in fortune, you get 2 points of fortune above the initial ones. And that's, of course, the fortune points that saves our bacon, right? Then we have, so I know I'm going backwards here, you can increase your attributes. So here's the problem with that. It requires, of course, a lot of investment because, so let's say we have a wizard here. we want to, our wizard wants to increase the attributes. Well, first of all, you got your min and max. So the max is 4. The wizard has either 4 or 3. I'm going to have to calculate it because I think what ended up happening was I spent 2 points here. So let's just figure this out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had to have spent one somewhere else. 2, 3, 4. I did spend 2 here for 5, 6. Just looking at my character here. I do get -1 to combat, so that's the reason why you see it down to a 2. You get 8 points whenever you create a character. Or do you only get 6? I thought you got 8. I thought you got 8. Yeah, you get 8. So I was supposed to have spent 8 points with this character. So I see that I have 6 movements, so that's 2 of the points. I lost 1 combat. The fist and the archery is just the minimum. Armor's minimum. Agility I have, 2 points in agility. Yeah, there's 2 points there. That's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is a 4. What was confusing me is you could see I had originally written a 3. That is a 4. We're just going to get that done. Okay, so here's where I'm going. We can spend 3 points to get 1 pip. Well, you can see all the 1 pip ones I already maxed out. I can't get any more agility. I can't get any more intelligence. The mana, we already just talked about how to get that. I can't get any more courage. I can, however, get another hit point. But see, I need 2 pips. So that's 6 experience points. 3 for the first one, 3 for the second one. So I'd have to really save up if that's what my plan is to start increasing those. So, the campaign's big, and I think at some point you're going to not need skills anymore. But basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to get some skills for these characters. Like, for example, the rogue, the paladin, the barbarian for sure, and even maybe the elf, forester. I want to get some skills because I don't think I necessarily need spells. The wizard's the only one that I would want a spell for, and the only possible spells to get right now are water. We have to finish water before we can take another type, like fire or whatever. So, let's see, we got the music ones. There we go. So there's 2 more water spells left. One right here, the crushing wave, that causes target and all adjacent enemies 2 damage dice. Pass a strength test or else be knocked down and pushed 1 square back. So that's decent. And then this one, of course, ice arrows, would be very nice as well. And that one has a range of 12. You can see both of them do. Caster casts several ice arrows that cause 5 damage dice. All adjacent characters suffer 3. That would include your own. So we got to be careful with that one. But see, both of these are nice attack spells, which he didn't get because you had to randomly select them. So we definitely want to save his points and get him a spell. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on top, and then, of course, the music I'm going to put on the bottom. However, everybody else, they're fair game. So if we pull out the rogue, for example, if I want to raise a skill, I have to roll a die. If I get a 1 or a 2, I get a courage skill. A 3 is a scholarship, and a 4 to 6 would be, I can't remember what it's called, intrigue, espionage. It's one of them, but it's going to be a sneaky skill. So we want the 4 to 6 because that's the range that the rogue is really going to benefit. But I think all of these are good. There's at least one good thing in all of them. But the 4 to 6 is the one we want. And we got a 4 to 6. So we did that. Now, somehow or another, you're supposed to remember that that's what you rolled last time. Because if you ever roll it again, then you get to pick anything you want. But it is what it is. So we go over here and we grab this. And the world's our oyster. Now, we could grab anything we want. It just has to match our skill. Now, the rogue is the one that has the the melee swords. That's the rogue symbol. And you can tell that because it's right here. So we can only get the cards that have that symbol, and it's always located in the same spot. So you can just go through all the cards. Like, for example, that one we can't get. So we can easily rule out the ones that we can't get. And then you can see a whole bunch of them we can, because this is our bread and butter, the stealthy stuff. So I'm not even looking at the skills yet. I'm just seeing which ones are ruled out. And we literally can take the entire deck minus this one card. Okay, so as far as skills go, we have an intelligence of 5, and I believe we can get 10. It's twice your intelligence. So we can get 10 more skills with this guy. I mean, we can become a skill hog. So here we go. First one, character gets a +1 to his perception and the dexterity when detecting and disarming traps. That is an amazing one. That's going to be really high up on our list, right? Because like I said, we've been trying to become the expert in that. Character gets +2 dexterity when trying to open locks stealthily. I don't know what the difference is between stealthily and non-stealthily, but +2 to locks is very good. Character gets +1 to perception, also very good. But if you take these into account, both of these, this just feels really thick. Both of these, this one is just a combo of both, right? You're getting one of each. Now, this one only works when you're detecting and disarming traps. But when else do you do it, right? The +1 won't apply for initiative rolls, right? So when you're rolling for enemies in a room, I won't be able to apply to +1. But when you're, opening doors, dealing with, traps as you're walking through areas, this is +1 to both. And it's not going to be +1 for opening the treasure chests, which we were struggling with. So there is a little bit of restriction to that one, whereas this one is any lock. So basically it's just +2 to this is what it's saying. Eagle Eye, +1 to perception. You can hire mercenaries. This is no good to us. This one shouldn't even be in here. It's the wrong type. We put this one in the wrong type. So it goes over in the scholarship one. Survival. Lodge for free and inns. Starts with a free pack of provisions. It's okay. I'm going to put that in the no but. Trapper. As soon as an enemy moves to or is activated in a square which is 3 or less spaces away from him, the enemy character must get a result of 8 or more in the observation test. Otherwise, it stops. Suffers 4 damage dice and loses its turn. That's really nice. Situational, but nice. So if your movement or agility is greater than or equal to 4, which both are, and you do not wear heavy armor, you move twice your movement when running. So you don't have to roll dice. You just automatically move. It's okay. +1 to agility rolls. As soon as a treasure card is revealed, you may take one more from the deck. Keep the one that you deem better. Oh, and I realized I forgot something. I drew this broadsword, assuming we got a magic item. That's not the case. We were supposed to draw one of these. And it's only a magic item if this tells us we got a magic item. So, my apologies. We may not have that broadsword. Let's just draw this guy right here. Yeah, see, we get 8 coins and 1 random common object, which sucks. And I forgot to grab the 10 coins from the last one. Yeah, look, that's actually one of the best ones you can draw. Chest is empty. That's the worst one you can draw. Yeah, I drew the very best card in the game, which means I don't get this. Boo-hoo. But I do get 18 coins and a random common object, which common objects suck. So the 18 coins, not so bad. 5, 10. I've literally taken every coin in the game. So I'm going to have to just take one more. And then I also realized this was the experience points. So we don't have to write on the card. So what I'm going to do is when you get 3 experience points to the mage, everybody else is getting a skill. So my apologies, I didn't get that magic item that I thought. When trying to disarm a trap, character may wear special protecting, +1 to initiative rolls. If we win the initiative rolls, characters with ambush may reroll their first failed attack roll. As soon as you're knocked down, which does happen if you're smaller. Reroll agility checks. Enemies shooting at or throwing weapons at you get a -1, which they sort of already do. Reroll 3 rolls in the same quest when exploring halls or searching for secret doors. Because you only get 1 shot at it, and this is letting you get multiple shots. It's not a bad one. No penalties for casting spells while riding. Yeah. Reroll results of 1 when rolling for initiative. You get better defense. Thief. Character has a great ability to discover the most hidden of possessions. You may reroll results of 1 or 2 when searching corpses. That's could be useful. Flying jump and then tracker. Twice per game, character may force the dark player to reveal all the cards. If it's a AI, take the encounter cards. Yeah, I remember that one. I also remember we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5, 6 dead corpses because the bandit boss isn't here. So we need to roll 6 dice to search the corpses. So there's 5. Here's 6. And boom. Right there's 2. So I got to look that up. So we still need to pick our skill. I got to look up what this is. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 more coins for the money that we're carrying. We're carrying a lot of money right now. Still need to pick my skill for leveling up, but I got a little ahead of myself. This is searching the corpses, and then I'm going to look up what 2 6s mean. I think it's page 23. Okay, so it says that if an enemy is elite, you get to roll 2 dice instead of just 1. So we rolled 1 for all the enemies, right? We got 2 6s. Unfortunately, or not actually fortunately for us, this is a champion because he's a boss. So it says for champion, You roll as many d6 as the strength or intelligence, whichever one is higher. So the strength is 4 and the intelligence is 4. So we get to roll 4 dice. So that means I've already taken the money. We have 2 6s. One of these dice belongs to the boss. So that means we get to roll 3 more. And I get 1 more coin, but I don't get any more 6s. If we would have rolled 4 6s, we would have gotten a magic object. So we could have taken that broadsword back. It does say, if you defeat the quest leader, you always find the magic objects he was carrying, if any. I just don't know what magic objects he would be carrying. I mean, it just shows, I think the bandit boss is just carrying normal stuff. I mean, bastard sword, shield. I don't see any magic objects there. So that's not as exciting. But yeah, that's all I'm finding there. We got like when you defeat a leader, it's funny, they don't really have a section for, okay, you've now won, so this is what happens. It's just sort of like, it's all sprawled out in different places. So the death of a leader, all grunt level characters. And yep, that's all it covers. And he says that twice in 2 different places. So I think we're good to keep going here. Yeah, because the death of a leader is mentioned twice in this. But that's all it does. The quest itself says, here, let's go back to this. Mission accomplished. Read narrative Nexus T3 when you return to Vernick. So we're not quite back to Vernick. And we're going to get 10 more coins for the whole group once we do. I'm reading ahead. You take handcuffed Rourke to Vernick, wounded and immobilized by the ropes. He's the object of mockery and insults by the inhabitants of the city who recognize him as he advances to your side. Governor Hart publicly meets you and congratulates you. He orders him to be locked up. Rourke will be hanged in a cathedral square on a festive day. Hart will announce the merchants gathered there and the road to Vernick will now be safer. The guard meets you and pays you 10 to the whole group. And then you got 2 missions that become available. And we'll worry about that later. But we got to do our skills here still. And I'm just trying to make sure, I'm getting all the stuff I need to get. But basically, we're going to get a special object because we rolled 2 6s. Which a special object is really a potion. Nothing more exciting than that. Magic objects and relics are classified similar to other weapons. It shows a character can only be equipped with 1 magic object of each type. That's really all it says. There's not much. And then when you actually go to a town, so for example, there's a merchant here. Roll 1d6 per group and campaign turn. On a roll of a 6, the merchant will offer you a random magic object for usual price. If you choose to buy it, you must roll 1d6 again. And then if you roll 1 or 2, you've been conned. If one of your heroes has the skill Secret of Magic, you can repeat the roll, which we do have. And then only 1 magic object every year. So we will go back and try that, I guess. That is another way to get a magic object. But it's hard. These magic objects are hard to come by. The only good news I can offer with this is it's worth 40 coins. This one, I do not see the value of at all. In fact, if I look at the armors, The only armors that reduce the archery is the heavy armors. So yeah, we got a little bit of a dud, but we did draw a really good card that technically we shouldn't even be at a magic object at all. Okay, so which one of these are going to get? I keep delaying the inevitable here. I'm sort of tempted to get Locksmith. That just gives me +2 when trying to open locks. Now, does that mean that disarming traps is different than opening locks? I wish he wouldn't get so different with his wording. Just give me +2 and be done. Now, remember, you can only get at most, I think, +3 is the maximum you can get. We're already at +2 each. So the whole idea of becoming an expert trapper would put us at +3, and then we'd be done. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take expert trapper. So now we're at 3 and 3. And the rest of these skills, I'm just going to keep to the side because we may end up getting another one for another character. So if we just keep going now, we go to the elf. And sorry, I have to reach across the table here. So here's our elf on a shelf. So you can see he's got a distribution pretty even. So let's roll. It's a she, of course. So we got a scholarly one. I think I wanted the lion because that's where all the archer skills are. But it's a scholarly one, so we'll do the scholarly one. Again, this is going to take a lot of time. If this is boring you, this portion of the game, there's no more playthrough in this video, so you can go ahead and just look for the next one. And I apologize for not saying that sooner. Okay, so this is the where did it go? This is the forester. So the forester looks like, has the picture of the tree. Not surprised there. Why'd I be so sucked? So the tree is not in here. It's gotta be. This is an alchemist skill. Nope, no tree, because the tree's right in the middle. So we'll get rid of the ones that we can't use. Actually, a lot of this one can't be done. That one can't be done. Okay, so we eliminated a few. Okay, really quick. Powerful Mind. The price of learning a spell will be reduced by 5 coins and will take only 2 experience points. You also get +2 for solving riddles. That's really good. Iron Will. Your courage goes up by 1. It's okay. Don't need it at the moment. Use this skill when searching corpses. If there's a 6 in the roll, in addition to the usual coin, the character will manage to extract relevant information from a dying enemy. Can reroll the next initiative roll. +1 to all persuasion. That's okay. Recover 2 hit points. Also okay. +1 to casting spells. However, results with 1, 2, or 3 will be regarded as no. Encouraging. Yeah, not so interested. Character increases by 1 the courage of allied characters other than himself. May reroll failed Expert in herbs and knows how to create potions. Start each quest with the potion of your choice at no cost. Mana potions and poisons are not included. That's a decent one. Experienced wizard. You may reroll failed intelligence rolls when casting spells. I do like that one. This one is an interesting one. Does the wizard get to use this one? The wizard is this one all the way on the left. Yeah, he does. So characters with mana may use one quick action each turn to handle a giant so basically you need to have the skill Giant Tamer. And then when you go to a certain location, which is not in Vernick, you can actually get a giant to join you, and it stays with you. So you have to activate it. Character must pass an intelligence check, and if you fail, you lose 1 mana point. So basically, you got these giants that are with you. There's stone giants, there's frost, there's all kinds of giant choices. And then basically they don't listen to you. They won't take their turn unless you pass this test. You can use a quick action each turn to handle one. And as long as it is 6 or less squares away, to activate it, you have to pass your intelligence check. If you fail, you lose a mana point, and the giant just stays stationary. However, you can get one, and it's just like the water elemental, except the water elemental eventually expires. This one stays on the board. It's decent. It really is. And the forest person's intelligence is just as high as the wizard. Polyglot. +1 to dispelling and casting spells with scrolls. It's not bad. Create poisons. Start each with 1 free poison flask. I don't know what that does. Do I have poison with any of my people? No, I don't. Oh, I'm realizing these are really tough choices. Because I wanted to do something that would help my archery, and none of these help my archery. I think I want to take Giant Tamer, because I don't want the wizard to be the Giant Tamer. The wizard already has the water elemental, stuff like that. Sure, we'll take Giant Tamer just because. None of these other ones are really all that exciting for this character. Okay, moving on. Let's do the Paladin. And let me grab the Paladin one. So our Paladin, you can see, is the Florida whatever. And 1 to 3, 4, 5, and 6. I rolled a 3. So we are going to get one of the strength ones, which of course slows down this video even more because now I got another stack of cards to go through. But here we go. So the Fleur right there, that's the Paladin. So Foresight. When targeted by an enemy attack, if the defender rolls doubles and wins the combat, he's considered to have foreseen the attack and managed to hit his attacker instead. That's too much luck. Right there, this is the one we wanted, Expert Archer. And see, look, that's our skill. Well, that's one of the ones we wanted. Martial Arts. If you get a critical hit in melee against an opponent of equal size, he will choose between dealing damage and automatically stunning the target or dealing a single damage die and knocking him down. It's okay. Character can attack rolling 3d6 instead of usual 2d6. He chooses the 2 most favorable. That's pretty good. But then you have to add a penalty of -1. And then if you get a double 1, you have a critical failure. That's decent. That's very decent. Can't do this one. Can't do that one. See, that's a good one too for the archer. It's okay. Okay. Can't do that one. Sort of worthless. Can't do that one. Can't do that one or that one. Character gets the skill Onslaught when a shield is equipped. And if I remember correctly, Onslaught was when you charge up, you can bash them with the shield, and that's in addition to may use an action to carry out this attack as long as it's not adjacent to an enemy at the beginning. So it is your action. You don't get to do an attack on top of it. I may have done the water elemental wrong. You move and contact the enemy. It will roll agility. Yeah, her agility is only 3. That's where this falls apart. You get a +1 when defending. You can decide to be the target. It's okay. Brutal blow. I don't have a two-handed weapon. You can reduce the target's armor by 1, but you don't get the extra damage die. Oh, I've been missing that the whole time I've been playing since I've been gone for a week. If I roll a 6 when attacking, that gives me an extra damage die. I bet I've been missing that. My apologies there. If you manage to hit, the target's armor is reduced by 1, and your weapon gets shield breaking. However, the character's combat for this attack is reduced by 1. So you have to declare it first. Yeah, that's not good. Each damage roll with a roll of 6 allows the character to roll 1 extra damage die. However, character's combat for this attack is reduced by 1. Combat Master. When fighting against 2 enemies at the same time, you get 1 extra attack with no penalties whatsoever. That one I like. Sword Master. Character gets 1 extra melee attack for every critical impact he gets. These extra attacks won't generate new ones. So I'd have to roll a 6, which lets me do 1 extra damage die, but then I get to do 1 extra attack. That's pretty interesting. The Dirty Fighter one, we've seen that one. Can't do that one. Strong. Just increase your strength by 1. Now this one's nice just from the perspective that that's an extra damage die. Every time you hit, you just do an extra damage. That's pretty good. You can have a combat equal to or greater than 4. Characters may reroll melee hits with a result of 1, unless it's a critical failure. That's pretty good too, or as well. Blocking. You can choose to block an attack equipped with a... Nope. Nope. Intelligence is 4. Okay, I like these. This lets me get an extra damage die. this will let me, if I'm against 2 enemies at the same time, I get 1 extra attack with no penalties whatsoever. This one, when I'm rolling to see if I hit the person, if I roll any ones, I get to re-roll them as long as it's not 2 ones. And then this one, I get an extra melee attack for every critical. So I have to roll 6 to be able to trigger this one. So they all have like a little drawback. This one requires me to be next to 2 people, otherwise it's useless. This requires me to roll 6 or otherwise it's useless. This requires me to roll 1 or otherwise it's useless. This one is just 1 extra raw damage. Thing is if I take the skill, then the barbarian can't take it. That's the one thing about this, is that the barbarian or the paladin, I have to choose which one's going to take it and which one's not. It's for that reason that I think I want to take, extra attacks are really nice. And if I'm up against 2 people, I need the extra attack. So I'm going to go ahead and take Combat Master and give that to the paladin. It's just something I think she would benefit from a lot. All right, so I know I'm dragging this video out, but this is, to me, this is one of the most fun parts of, when you're between missions and you're trying to figure out how to level up. Okay, so now we got the barbarian. I'm going to go ahead and roll real quick. I rolled a 4. Now let's see what that turns into. A 4 is actually one of those skills. So 1 to 3 would have gotten us the one I think that would have benefited him the most. We would have given him that strength one. And then he also had, there was a berserker one in here too. Just saw it. I think we added it to the pile here. So it's in the middle somehow. But there was this berserker one that, that's Dwarven Barbarian written all over it, right there. You can go Berserker at the start of the turn, and you can see it's one of those 2 classes, which is the Barbarian. Immune to fear, you won't be able to use any kind of shields or heavy armor. You get 1 extra melee attack per turn with a -1, and you have to always attack the nearest enemy. That's really nice. Unfortunately, he has to take one of these. So we got to see, like, he could do this one. He can make poison flasks. He can be an herbalist. You can start with a potion of your choice. This is actually not a bad one. He could just start with healing potions or a strength potion, for example. I'm actually going to set that aside. He can reroll. He only has a 4. Can't do that one. The first aid is never bad. Twice per game, you can just heal 2 or somebody else for 2. None of those are even usable. Combat Instructor. Choose an allied character with lower combat right before starting a quest. During the quest, he gets +1 thanks to his knowledge and advice he has acquired from the teacher. Such a character can never reach a combat of 5. Oh, that's really good. So basically, we can give it to the rogue, and now the rogue will have a combat of 4 every mission, or the forester. But the rogue was the one that really needs it. And every single quest, it's just a +1 to the rogue. We would give it to the rogue every time. There's no one else to even think about. I'm actually going to do that. It doesn't help the barbarian at all, but it helps the rogue. So I'm going to go ahead and give him Combat Instructor. And so basically, at the beginning of every quest, the rogue will get a +1 to his combat as long as it's not more than 5. Well, his combat is 3. And so I'm just going to write +1, like that. So he really doesn't have a 4, but he gets a +1 every mission. And I'm just going to hard code that in. Okay, I know that took a long time. I apologize. We're going to get 10 coins for the next mission when we go back to town. And right now we're up in the woods, if you recall. So we have to travel to the plains, which is T26, and then go into the town of Vernick. So this is for the plains and this is for the town. I rolled a 4 and a 1. And the reason I'm doing that is this is the plains card. I need a 5 or more. And then the town of Vernick, what does it look like? It looks like this. I rolled a 1. I needed a 3 or more, so we don't get any events. So we go to the town and we get 10 more gold, and we're rolling in the money right now. So just to put it in perspective, we have every coin that came with the game, and then we have this many more. So I'm very tired and I need to go. But what we technically need to do is every character does 3 things. And one of those things, of course, would be staying at the inn. So we're going to go ahead and roll. I rolled a 3. So the dark thing doesn't spawn. This dark thing only spawns if you roll, I think, a 5 or a 6 when you stay at an inn. It doesn't spawn all the time. So I think I had seen a video, maybe it was Lonesome Gamer, I don't remember, where I think he put one there every time and was worried about, like, there was 10 of them on the board or whatever. But when you stay at an inn, it's only some of the time that it happens. And maybe he did do it correctly and I just don't remember. And that's fully possible. I just, for whatever reason, it stuck in my head that we needed to put one out every time. That's not the case. And I thought, yeah, danger markers. Each time one or more heroes decides to rest by lodging in an inn, the dark player will roll 1d6 for every 10 VP the group has. For each result of 6, he'll place 1 on the territory. There we go. So we rolled 1, and we have 50-some VP, so we're going to roll 4 more dice. And then he does put 1 out. So I can see why they keep coming out now. That's pretty good odds that they're going to come out. All right, so that comes out, but this one would have moved 1 space towards us because we are now on week 5 after traveling back to Vernick. And then we would have to get out the, thankfully I still have all the Vernick stuff here. And so one of the things we can do is get mounts for everybody, especially now that we're rolling in money. We can go to the lender so we're not carrying that money around. I'm sorry, the treasurer I meant. The physician, there really is no injuries or anything. We do need to heal, but we would just stay at an inn and we can just pay money that way. So let's just do that. Everybody's going to do that. We're going to try to get the market to, and then we have the tavern and the king's quarters. So we'll have one character go to each and we'll get some rumors and stuff and maybe get some side missions going. So it's not very exciting, to be honest. The mounts are the only thing to get excited about, and I'm not super excited about those either. We could take the time to buy some upgraded armor. I am super tired, so I would love to actually resolve that now and get all this done, but I can't. I'm actually having trouble conjugating my thoughts at the moment. It's 2 a.m. or something. I'm pushing the midnight oil here. So I will do that when I get back. We'll take the time. I'll look at the market, maybe even do that before I start recording so I don't waste your time too much. We'll figure out how we're going to do the tavern. I'll figure out if I have enough money to buy mounts and if that's worth it. Remember, I can't buy any more mounts that are going to participate in battles, so it's purely going to be just so we can move on the map quicker. Basically, it'll let you move 2 spaces on the map instead of 1. Okay, as always, thank you for watching. Stay awesome and stay healthy and safe.